Do you have a small garden, but a big idea? Do you know what you'd like it to look like, but no idea really of where to begin? Well, you're not alone. Over the last year, I've been working with people right across the country, helping them to make their garden dreams become reality.
Monty Don has listened to their hopes and plans.
It's absolutely crazy idea, and I love it.
He's given advice.
Don't be frightened to push plants into crevices.
And he's rolled up his sleeves.
Let's not talk about it, let's just do it.
Do it.
Talk about a lean, mean gardening machine.
Things haven't always gone to plan.
I thought we were going to make 4 raised beds.
I'm a bit worried that we might have killed it.
But it's been worth it.
What a beautiful garden.
So happy.
Thank you, Monty.
I do believe that however small your garden is, everybody can cultivate a big dream. Lean it the other way if you can. Very gently.
This week, Monty helps 2 families create gardens that are for the children as much as the adults.
It's not too bad, is it?
He gets tough in Doncaster,
There is a tendency for this household to be a bit chaotic.
Just a little bit.
cuts to the chase in Walthamstow,
I don't think you've thought this through at all.
No, I don't think we have.
and as always, where there's pleasure, there's pain.
Everything seems to just be going wrong.
This is Finningley in Doncaster. And down this quiet cul-de-sac live Nicky and John and their family. There's their 1-year-old little girl, Anna, and Nicky's other children, Ninette, who's 10, and Ted, who's 7. All of them enjoy a particular lifestyle.
I don't know, we might sort of be seen as sort of hidden hippies. That makes sense. There's always this really bad stereotype, isn't there, that people have.
The family moved here 6 months ago, and together with a new home came a new enthusiasm to grow all their own food. At times, it's been a bit hit and miss.
We've got some lovely purple podded peas, but I don't know what's happened to them.
But it hasn't put them off. On the contrary.
So I want to be able to make a whole meal from things that I have picked from my garden. That is my aim.
And it will be up to this garden novice, John, to do a lot of the hard graft in between his shifts at the local supermarket.
I think it's all going to be a bit tricky because I've never done anything like this before.
The whole family of 5 rely on his wages, so no splashing out on loads of plants here.
We're on a very tight budget, obviously, because we're on a low income. But I do believe it's doable, and it's going to be very interesting getting there.
The inspiration for our next garden in the sprawling suburbs of Walthamstow, East London, couldn't be more different. This terrace, set on a busy road, is home to university lecturers Nicola and Oliver, and their children Daisy, 13, and Scarlett, 8. Their passion is their hometown.
Walthamstow actually has a hashtag of Awesomestow.
What better way to celebrate this than by making a model village of their area in their front garden?
The garden will be unique to Walthamstow, and it may also be unique in the world.
That's dream number 1 for the front garden. But that's not all. Dream number 2 is to capture life at the seaside in their back garden.
It's really sunny in our back garden, and we really want to embrace that and make it feel like we're on holiday every day when we're at home.
That's 2 offbeat plans to accomplish.
I think we're a little bit eccentric.
Yeah, I think we also get interested by new things, and we've never really done a lot of gardening before, and now that's something we want to have a go at.
It's late summer in Finningley, Doncaster, and Monty's on his way to help Nicky and John plan their dream garden. Growing vegetables is a passion he shares with Nicky, but his idea of an ideal kitchen garden might be very different.
I want it to be an edible haven. I want it to be somewhere full of edible plants and organic looking, natural, as opposed to regimented. I don't want regimented lines. I don't want it to look like an allotment, if that makes sense.
Why not?
Why not? Well, there's nothing wrong with an allotment on an allotment. but I want this to be somewhere where we can sit on the patio on a summer's evening, enjoy a glass of wine, and for it to be beautiful.
Is that what you want too? Yes. My main aim is to have a meal that is actually picked from my garden.
One meal a year? I mean, are we talking about every meal? What are we talking about?
No, we're thinking
As much as we
as
can.
much as we can, yeah.
Nicky and John's dream is to grow lots of edible flowers, vegetables, herbs and fruit, all mixed together in a central bed and up the fences. They've got a budget of only £500. I think they need a more organised approach if they're to get the quantity of crops they want. If you want to grow a meaningful amount of vegetables, as opposed to the odd thing here and there, sooner or later you're likely to come back to rows or grids because it's easier to harvest them and weed them and if you have them in a grid. So all I need to know is, are you saying no, that's not what I want it mixed up and that's the way it's going to be, or a little bit of this and a little bit of that?
I think comes to clumps. I think growing things in clumps is almost a grid system, isn't it? I don't want straight, long rows. Does that make sense? Can you...
No, clumps are not a grid system. Not in anybody's language anywhere.
Could you not have a
You could
grid
have
system
clumps
that
in a
big?
grid. It's your garden. You can have clumps. If you want clumps, you shall have clumps. Beautiful clumps. Edible clumps. To help them get a garden that yields more than just a dish, I think they should create 4 central beds instead of 1. Each bed could still have clumps of edible plants, but they'd be rotated throughout the seasons. That way, they'll be growing more produce to live off.
That would make very good sense because we could keep the sort of perennial, more backboney things to the outside.
And in the middle of each bed, you could have a fruit tree. You could have...
Oh, gosh, that would be beautiful. Oh.
Nicky's got a long wish list of plants to show Monty, but she's got no idea where they should be planted.
What's your worst fear?
That we plant certain things that are sort of more big-ticket items for us, like trees, and that they fail.
I don't think that's a worry at all. But what I would worry about much more is the lack of plan. And by plan, I don't mean lists of plants. I mean physical layout. You need to know where things are going to go, even if they're random.
Sometimes I think it is a confidence thing and sort of avoid planning it too much because then it makes it sort of become very real.
Well, I would say get real. Time to bite the bullet.
Yes.
Do it. You're talking a good talk. Now walk the walk.
Yes.
It's been quite a day, having her dream garden plan interrogated by Monty, but Nicky's taking it in good heart.
I feel that talking things through with Monty has made me feel a lot more confident about some of the ideas that are in my head and actually getting them out and what we could potentially achieve here if I become a little bit more organised for a change.
Well, I really believe that they want this to happen. But the whole place is amazingly chaotic. And they do need to get their act together, and fast, if they're to have any chance of a good harvest by summer.
And from this quiet corner of rural life, Monty heads 165 miles south to East London and to the hustle and bustle of busy Walthamstow. Nicola and Oliver have the nerve-wracking task of taking gardening guru Monty through their plans. At 4 by 2.5 metres, it's a tight squeeze, but they have big dreams.
What are your plans for this area here?
What we're planning to do here is build a miniature village in our front garden. We're going to have a layout of the local area, like a 3D map, with lots and lots of tiny houses that we're going to build ourselves.
Why?
Well, for a lot of reasons, I suppose, but mainly because no one else has got one and we think it'll be fun.
OK. So, I mean, it's a great idea. I like it. It's good. What sort of scale are we talking about?
Well, we've started to make some sample houses,
Yes.
like the ones over there.
So these ones here?
Yeah,
I mean, it's minute.
it is, indeed.
It is. But what we're going to have is lots and lots of them.
Nicola and Oliver want to build a model of their area with a budget of £600. They plan to cover the front garden with a wooden pegboard and then build hundreds of miniature buildings to fix onto this base. And they want to include miniature plants to look like trees and bushes.
I'm starting to feel very confused about how you're going to represent any planting on that scale.
I think I was envisaging almost like a bonsai garden outdoors.
Have you seen any bonsai?
They're about that big.
No, they're not about that big. A small bonsai is about that big.
In order to make the plants work, I think they should scale up the houses dramatically. And once that's done, amongst others, they can include miniature trees, alpines and mosses.
I think it's completely balmy. I think it's absolutely crazy idea, and I love it. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But the big dreams don't stop there. They want to do the back garden too.
How do you want to change this?
What we've got in mind is something inspired by Derek Jarman's garden. We want to have some stones and plants amongst the stones.
What sort of planting?
Something sort of frondy type thing.
And really, is that it? What about you?
I think I'd like things a bit more spiky, really.
Nicola and Oliver want to copy the seaside shingle garden of the late film director Derek Jarman on their heavy London clay, but they don't want to take anything out to make room.
You want to keep this enormous great swing.
Yeah.
You want ferny frondescence, you want spikes, you want a Derek Jarman Dungeness beach effect.
Yeah.
Anything else you want while you're chucking it in the pot?
No. I think that's probably more than enough.
Do you know what I think?
Yeah.
I don't think you've thought this through at all.
No, I don't think we have.
All those three things are almost mutually incompatible.
OK.
Ferny and frondy does not really tend to go with spiky.
No.
Even if you did do it, I don't think it would look very good.
Don't think you'd like it at the end.
It doesn't matter if I like it or not. That's not what it's
But
about.
you don't think we'd like
I don't think you would, actually. I think, in all seriousness, I think some editing is necessary here.
Yeah.
OK.
How would you feel about pushing the children's stuff to the back?
What, moving the swing?
So
to
there
the back
became
of the
a
garden?
play area.
Yeah.
OK, yeah, I can see that.
So if I steer you towards a kind of planting that is less Derek Jarman and more sort of structurally, architecturally dramatic,
Yeah.
would that
That would be
appeal?
great.
Oh, very
yeah.
much so, yeah.
Well, that seems like a good compromise. For now, anyway.
The back garden is all over the shop. There are too many different things going on, too many ideas without any real articulation of them.
I think we need to go back to the drawing board. I think it's au revoir to the beach theme. It's not going to be Dungeness anymore, I don't think.
Our couples may have very different dreams, but their gardens begin life the same way, with a lot of back-breaking work. Each garden will be stripped back to a blank canvas before the fun part can begin. Nicky finds working out her design difficult to do, so Monty's arranged for her to visit East Ruston Old Vicarage in Norfolk to see just how much goes into creating even the most wild-looking garden. Her guide is the co-owner, Alan Gray.
Hi, Nicky, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you.
There are numerous themed gardens here, each designed to replicate different growing conditions and planted for maximum effect. Today, she's here to see one in particular.
Well, Nicky, this is the wall garden here. And what I really wanted to do here is I wanted it to be a combination of flowers, fruit and vegetables in the most beautiful and tranquil setting that I could make. And I'd just like you to look at this little section here. We've got some curly kale and we've got some sprouting broccoli, but we've got dahlias. And I think you might think it looks a little bit less regimented.
Yes, you can see that there are lines here, but for me, this is so much more what I had in my head because it's mixed in together, it's very abundant, it still manages to look more free and easy. And I just think this is just wonderful.
This garden began life with meticulous architectural plans.
So you think drawing your plan is going to help?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling a lot more positive about the idea of drawing a plan now. Having seen this, it's actually very helpful. Coming here, I've been able to see some of the organisation under what appears to be a natural scene. I think it's given me a little bit more confidence that what I have in my head is doable and about how I might go about that.
Back in Doncaster, Nicky has returned from her inspiration trip ready to tackle her vegetable garden. For her, the desire to live off the land is much more than just a whim. She's a full-time mum and homeschools her children.
Home education is something that's very important to me because I feel it offers more control over what they're learning and it can be targeted towards their interests.
For Nicky, the garden is an extra classroom, a place to teach her children about nature and plants.
Yeah, I like planting, and actually I buy a lot of things with my own pocket money.
Over the last 6 weeks, the couple have been working diligently to get the hard landscaping done before the winter sets in. But after an initial flurry of activity, progress has been slow.
Spend about a full day a week in the garden. Obviously, we're working and studying as well. Don't really get much time at the moment.
John's work isn't the only reason they're moving forward at a snail's pace. There's also baby Anna.
Oh dear.
We can only do work in the garden when Anna's happy for us to do work in the garden because there's no explaining to a 1-year-old child.
You don't realise you're getting in the way, do you, little one?
I'm just going to give up and take her in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monty is due back in a few days, and the couple are worried by their lack of progress.
The way the garden is at the moment makes me feel a little bit nervous. It's a mess, and obviously Monty's coming out next week, so we have to get everything prepared for him.
Yes, we're sort of hoping to plough through a bit to get it done. Still quite a long way to go, though.
Over in Walthamstow, the mood is altogether more chipper. The family's dream is to create a model village of their local area. And today, Ollie and his 10-year-old assistant, Daisy, are tackling the first stage by resizing prototype houses. They're keeping it simple. Step 1, saw a rectangular block. Step 2, sand the block. And step 3, stick a triangular piece on top. So far, so good.
Monty said to increase the sizes of the houses essentially as much as we could bear. Originally planned a really tiny scale like this. Obviously, the bigger we make the houses, the easier it is to get everything in proportion, but then you just end up with one house in your front garden, which isn't really a model village, it's a model house. Yeah, I think they need to be a bit bigger. But imagine if we found something that was going to be about that size.
Okay.
And we found something for the roof.
Mhm.
We'll put that on there
That went all
to
the
make
way
it up.
down.
So it went all the way down and all the way along.
Like a sun house rather than a shed.
We're not going against Monty's advice. We're having a go and then hearing a nice softly spoken Monty on our shoulders saying, no, that's not big enough.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's huge.
By their own admission, Oliver and Nicola are lost when it comes to planting their model village. So Monty sent them to the oldest one in the world, Beaconscott in Buckinghamshire, for inspiration.
Here's the train.
Here's the train.
I like the noise
Wave
as well.
to the kids.
Wave to the people on the train.
Beaconscott captures a vision of 1930s England, complete with 10 scale miles of railways. There are parks, trees and gardens, all in keeping with the mini size.
But there are plants amongst the houses, aren't they?
Yeah, and I want it to feel like this.
You want it to be a garden as well as...
I do want it to be a garden. Yeah, I don't think I realised quite how much until we came here, that it's a model garden as well as a model village.
Yeah.
Peter Crowther is on hand to give them some good tips.
This group, copse of trees, cypress, the end of the airstrip.
Cypress?
Always looks nice, yeah.
OK. So how big does that grow?
As big as you like, if you leave it.
OK. And is that a box at the back?
Yeah, little privet.
OK, but a privet.
With plenty of those from small, you can make a lovely long hedge or a boundary.
Yeah, because we need a boundary.
Yeah, we do.
So what's that one there?
That's a Chinese elm. Really good, quick growing, easy to shape.
That's really helpful. I think I'd quite like some of these in our garden.
Yeah, I think I could see us using some of these.
Yeah.
Most of these trees aren't actually dwarf varieties. They use normal stock and they're given the bonsai effect by precise shaping and pruning. Nicola and Oliver watch carefully, but will they manage as well back home?
What's interesting is how quickly you've been able to put all of those layers in and leave it looking so nice.
Over the next couple of years, it will thicken up.
So those layers will close up a bit, won't they?
Yeah.
I think one of the things I take home is the fact that I don't have to make a replica of where I live. And I don't necessarily have to have all the plants the same scale as the buildings that we build. That it might be more fun to actually have fun plants and the right sort of plants and not to worry too much about the size.
I don't know, do you think we can fit a train in as well?
I'd quite like a train. I don't know if it should be an underground, given that we live in London.
Maybe.
It looks as though their dream garden keeps growing bigger and bigger. 2 months after his initial visit, Monty is back in Doncaster. He's agreed to lend a helping hand and has come ready for action.
Last time I visited Nicky and John's garden, I was worried that it was a bit chaotic. And it seemed really vital that they impose some order into their planning and the execution if they're going to grow a decent crop of vegetables for next summer.
The couple dream of making an organic-looking edible haven, mixing flowers, herbs, fruit and veg.
Hello, Nicky.
Hello.
Give you a kiss.
Oh, mwah.
How are
Yes,
you?
mwah.
Well, you've been busy.
Yes, we've managed to get a bit done.
Yeah, so let me just take stock of what you've done. You've made these 2 raised beds.
Yes.
I thought we were going to make 4 raised beds.
Well, I think it worked better with working with the paths that were here.
Yeah.
But also we do have the large side beds, which are predominantly for fruit, but obviously can be an overspill for crop rotation as well.
It's one thing not to have followed the plan, but as Monty predicted, the garden is still totally chaotic.
We have a number of things started, but nothing finished.
Well, at present, I know we're on quite a slow timescale because I'm rather hampered by a small child and the weather, when John's available as well to help.
Now, I asked you to do a scale plan.
Yes, I've got one
I'd
done.
love to see that now.
OK.
The plans look ever so much neater than the garden itself.
The reason I asked you to do it was actually to organise yourself, just so that you have to measure, set it out, rather than lots of dreams and lots of ideas. Let's be honest, there is a tendency for this household to be a bit chaotic.
Just a little bit sometimes.
Right. Now listen, that can't happen in the garden. What you want is fantastic. And coming out with lots of energy and enthusiasm, doing a bit and then giving up is not practical. Focus it on bits at a time. And I would say, do 1 bed and do nothing else until that bed is finished. If you've only got 10 minutes, do 10 minutes work. See, chickens agree with me.
End of lecture, and on to something more fun. Nicky has told Monty that what she's most worried about is that she'll kill off expensive items like fruit trees. So today he's going to demonstrate how to plant her very first Hessel pear tree.
So we're going to plant the pears as espaliers along here. You know, an espalier is any tree, but particularly fruit tree, that is grown in tiers. And there can be as many tiers as you like. Incidentally, the word espalier originates from the Italian word spaliera, meaning something to rest the shoulder on. Down a bit, up a fraction. So we begin by creating a support system to train the tree. This is very straightforward and simply requires eyelets and wire.
We're making 3 tiers about 45 centimetres apart. So we run wires across the fence at those intervals. Next, we dig a hole that's wide but not deep.
I would never, like, if left to my own devices, I would not have cleared a space as big as this.
Right. We position the tree so it's angled back towards the fence. Now, at this stage, when you're heeling it in, you don't want to damage the roots, but you do want it to be firm. So just go like this, all the way around. Give them a generous soak. Then add plenty of mulch, tie them with twine, and that's the job done. These buds here are going to provide us our lateral growth. So you grow this up at 45 degrees, and then in winter, lower them down. Don't force them down. It might take 2 years to get them horizontal. And then all these can be pruned off. It'll take roughly a year for each tier. And I would have every expectation of that lasting for at least 100 years.
And that's the important thing, really, isn't it? To get it in. It's not just for us, it's for other people as well.
Nicky's also sourced some cheap plastic guttering that she wants to fix onto the fences to grow plants in.
What had you thought of growing in the guttering?
Things like strawberries that might sort of manage to be in a shallower space.
The first thing of any length of guttering is you're going to want some drainage. We begin by drilling the holes about 10 centimetres apart. Then we fasten the guttering to the fence with brackets. OK, now we're ready to plant up. What we need to do is just take a handful of compost, put it in the end, and line the bottom. There's not enough room to put drainage in. If it was a deeper container, I'd put some stones or crocks in, but this is just too shallow. Shallow-rooted herbs like chives can also work well in guttering. All right, how about that?
Beautiful.
So, what we now need to do is pack compost around them. There's not much soil in there, so these strawberries will need regular watering. But keep them moist, and all being well, they should successfully bear fruit. Vertical gardening can be done on almost any budget. If you've got the means, tailor-made hydroponic systems can look spectacular. But if not, improvise, and it can be virtually free. I mean, what I would like to see is every single inch of your vertical walls used. That way, you're adding, what, a third as much again to the size of your garden.
Monty and Nicky have worked hard all day, but they've tackled just one small corner of the garden.
My concern is that sometimes people around me worry, but for me, I always knew it was going to go a little bit slowly. There isn't a surprise to me that it's a little slow.
This garden is still a disaster zone. I don't think, as things stand, that Nicola has any chance of creating the edible haven that she so wants. But I really hope she proves me wrong.
I'm not worried that it won't be done. Of course it will be done. It will have to be done.
In the cold months, both our gardens have come to a grinding halt. In Walthamstow's back garden, the turf has been dug up and the Wendy house has been squeezed behind the shed to make space for the swing. The front has also been dug over and grit added for drainage, ready for model building and planting next year. The winter season brings the wettest weather the UK has seen in nearly 250 years. In Doncaster, the gales have been wreaking havoc.
We had 4 fence panels go down in the recent winds, which made one hell of a noise and a crash. And there was quite a lot of damage. Obviously, everything spread all over the garden. The greenhouse was against one of the fence panels, so we rushed out, obviously, to try to stop that going over, and failed. So we moved it here, and as you can see, that wasn't successful at all. And yes, the metal frame, I think it's actually snapped in two. I don't know how fixable that is now.
Although they're splitting the cost of replacing the fence with their neighbour, it's an expense they can ill afford.
We set up with a fairly low budget of about £500, and yeah, it can't help but be affected by the fact that the fences have gone down. That's quite a big expense. Probably, effectively, you know, starting to move towards almost half of the budget, I think, realistically. I'll be honest and say I don't know how that's going to affect things right now.
For now, Nicky's trying to re-establish some sort of order, but the damage has left her really downcast.
People have been quite badly hit, and a lot of people have had to deal with stuff, but it is quite difficult at times to try to keep positive, because it is hard when everything seems to just be going wrong.
Over the last few months, Nicola and Oliver in Walthamstow have steadily transformed their back garden. They've laid down pebbles and sleepers and bought large plants. It's time for Monty to catch up with them. On his first visit, the couple had wanted their backyard to resemble Derek Jarman's seaside garden, but were told to go back to the drawing board by Monty as their ideas jarred. Now he's about to find out if they have a new plan.
Right, my guess is because of the pebbles, you've stuck with your Derek Jarman inspiration. So that's a little bit of Dungeness.
Yeah.
You've still got that enormous swing, taking up literally a quarter of the garden.
Yeah.
And the shed taking up another quarter.
Yeah.
One of the things that worried me then and worries me now is that it will be bitty. So what you do need to do is relate these other spaces to this central area, which is what you first see. I would love to see all this pebbled.
Yeah.
So you had a complete unity of theme, and it would undoubtedly look better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fairly rude of me to say that.
No, that's okay.
The great secret of small gardens is to be ruthless in your editing.
Yeah.
Get rid of everything that isn't essential.
Okay.
And then slowly pull things in. And I would suggest the way to do it is with a bit of wit and charm. I mean, play.
Okay.
The couple haven't followed Monty's advice about plants either. They are combining spiky and frondy types, despite Monty's suggestion that they just choose one of them. This 6-foot tree fern is their biggest purchase by far at £500.
You have this glorious tree fern, which is Dicksonia antarctica. Are you confident that you know exactly how to look after it?
No, not at all.
All right. Do you know where they come from?
Yeah, from New Zealand.
Right, well, they love that cool, rather moist air
Okay.
and some shade.
Okay, we've not got much.
Now, where were you planning to put it?
About where it is.
You must give it some shade.
Yeah.
Okay.
The two places I would plant it, were at my garden, is either that far corner
Okay.
or as near into that corner as you can.
Okay.
Well, what do you think of it there?
It's nice there.
Down. Lean it the other way if you can. Very gently. That's it. It looks better there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does look better.
Time for a quick swing to make sure that they don't damage their very expensive fern.
It's not too bad, is it?
No, it's nice.
No, it looks nice there.
I think it looks better there. What makes Dicksonia antarctica and tree ferns in general so unique is the fact that their roots are here, where my hands are.
On the
They're
outside?
on the outside of the trunk. And these are bone dry.
Yeah,
You've
they
been
are.
watering the soil.
Yeah.
Which means you haven't been watering it at all.
Oh, dear.
Now, what I've been dying to do for the last half hour is give this poor thing a drink. It needs it terribly. This is how you water a tree fern.
Oh, it starts to come out the sides.
Okay?
And that's like being in a rainforest.
Yeah.
And this is, you see, how the rain filters down, which not a lot of it reaches the ground.
No.
But the plant has taken it up and used it before it does.
Thank you.
Right. Well, that's a new home for that. That's easy. Now, in the back garden, they've splendidly ignored everything I advised them to do. I said, don't mix textures, don't mix styles, work out what you want and go for it. And they've got a little bit of Derek Jarman Dungeness, they've got a little bit of tree fern, they've still got the swings, they've still got some decking.
Monty thinks that we've got too much going on at the moment, which I guess to some extent feels a bit like being told off by a teacher. But I think we need to learn from that, and I think he's right that we have got too many things going on and don't quite know how everything's going to fit in.
It will be hard to make that garden look coherent. And that's really important, because otherwise it just ends up as a mishmash.
Over in South Yorkshire, Nicky and John's edible garden is at last beginning to take shape. Spring is most definitely in the air, and Nicky, for one, is delighted.
All 4 fruit trees that we planted are now coming into leaf. Here's one of the fruit trees. This is the one we did with Monty. It's coming up. Yes, I'm really pleased with it, because it was a bit hairy for a while. With fruit, you sort of put these bare sticks into the ground, and you look at it and you think, I'm sure that's dead. But no, it's all springing back. So yes, we are getting fruit.
It's all hands on deck, and Nanette has become quite the gardener.
In the propagator, we've been planting tomatoes, cucumbers, butternut squash, and edible flowers like electric daisies.
Not to be defeated by broken fences, the couple have found a novel way to do vertical gardening. They're using wooden pallets to hold pots. And Monty's pep talk has paid off. By finishing 1 bed at a time, all 4 are ready to go. Just one change, though. They aren't raised beds anymore.
I think it was Nicky's idea to take the raised beds out because it'd look more spacious. And to be honest, I think she's right. I was a bit annoyed about it because I put a lot of work into it, but at the end of the day, it does look better.
Now Nicky can get on with the part of gardening she loves best, the planting. But being Nicky, she's doing it in her own special way.
Some of the more traditional things I've done is the growing of carrots in grids. But then other parts of the garden have been more in clumps, as I originally suggested, and I know horrified Monty a little. And also a lot of plants that people might consider weeds. I'm keeping some of them, like the fat hen and the chickweed and the nettles. I'd like far more nettles, actually. Gardeners across the country will be horrified, but I do, and I want more dead nettles. I like dead nettles.
So, lots of weeds growing in with lots of vegetables. Let's hope it pays off, because there's no budget left to fix any mistakes.
I think there's still quite a bit to do because some of the beds are really bare.
Every minute I can, I'm going to spend in the garden making it how we want it to be.
In Walthamstow, 6 months in, the front garden is virtually bare. Ollie and Nicola dreamt of making a model village with miniature houses and trees representing their neighbourhood. So far, they've built a model of their street and followed Monty's advice by making houses that are 7 times taller than their original version.
I see you've begun the houses for the front.
We've done the first block.
I can't help noticing that these are a bigger scale than you talked about.
Yes, and I think what became important is that we wanted a garden.
Right.
Not just a model village.
Right.
It was a model garden as well.
Well, so therefore the plants are dictating the scale and then you make your buildings to them.
Yeah.
Fine. Well, that's a huge improvement. Yeah. Have you thought about the planting?
Yes.
Yes.
We've got alpines, we've got miniature conifers, we've got some saxifrage type plants, so things that are very low.
My only worry there with that, I mean, obviously the alpines give you the scale, is most alpines, not all, like full sun.
Oh.
Saxifrage is actually one of the few
that will take some shade. And there are more, so we need to carefully choose the alpines so they will cope with that shade. So you've got bare root box unprotected sitting there.
Yeah, oh dear. I've been like that for ages.
Have they?
Yeah,
right.
They've been fine. And we're just storing some plants in that one at the moment for the front.
I have to say, as one of my complete fetishes is, if you've got bare root plants, keep them covered. Keep them covered all the time. I mean, literally all the time.
Okay.
There's one plant that does love moisture and shade, and that's moss. To harvest some from a roof, gently lift it up, making sure that as much of the root is attached as possible. Right. We've got a little bit there.
Okay.
Moss should not be removed from natural areas as it's a crucial part of the ecosystem, but it can be bought if you need some. So we've got moss, and I know you want to use it as lawns.
Yeah.
And also perhaps on the roofs?
Yeah, some green roofs.
OK, well, what we can do, if we take a small piece, you can glue it.
Glue it?
To wood or stone.
And it'll stay alive?
It'll stay alive. But if we just put a dab of glue, or a lot on there, and stick it on a roof like that, OK?
Yeah.
Keep it wet, and that will grow.
Fantastic.
That's all you need. Right, the second way is if you want to make a moss lawn, obviously you can't glue it to soil.
Do to the soil, no.
So the first thing to do is establish compaction. So we got like that, and press it down. Now I've got some moss here. This has just been lifted off the soil, and that can just be pushed down onto there, like that. And as long as you keep it nice and moist...
Again?
Yeah, always. Keep it moist, that will grow on that surface.
That's amazing.
Third method is a bit more dramatic. And what I'm going to do is blend it. I'm going to make a kind of moss soup.
Oh, excellent.
So if we pop the moss in there, and then I'm going to add a few of these moisture-retentive crystals. So we're going to add some of those in there, and I'm going to add some water. Quite a lot of water, like that. Now we put the lid back on, and then give this a whiz. OK, that'll do. So, and we can just stick a paintbrush in. If you can imagine that this was a wall there, if we painted this on and put it in the shade,
yep,
there is enough moss there, even though it's all chopped up incredibly fine, for the moss to grow.
Wow.
Is that any help?
That's loads of help. I think particularly the idea that we can get lawns, but we can actually get creepers and fine detail out of plants never occurred to me, so that's great. Thank you.
A month later, Nicola from Walthamstow is off on a moss hunt. Her daughter's school has an abundance of it. The head has given Nicola the green light to harvest as much as she wants. She finds a whole lot of it. Enough to make a mini model town.
Scraping moss off a school playground floor has to be one of the strangest things I've probably ever done in my life, let alone for a garden.
Back at Model HQ, armed with her moss and miniature plants, it's time to get to work.
OK, so do you know where that goes down?
What we're planting here is miniature conifers, and then we've bought like a miniature elm tree and a miniature willow tree as well.
That tree represents the one down the street, and Nicola wants to trim it to be an exact match.
So you look at that and then tell me if I'm getting it right.
It's rounded at the top.
And what else?
And the trunk goes straight up, so it's not really like that.
I remember from being at Beaconscott that you could actually be really quite bold with them.
Yeah.
An outdoor bonsai in the making.
Next up, it's alpines, and Monty advised them to study which ones suit this environment.
I don't think we did a lot of research about anything beyond the trees, really.
No. I can't remember what likes sun and what doesn't like sun, to be honest. I have looked and I can't remember anymore.
Hedge? What do you reckon?
Yeah, can we sort of separate it out and...
Yeah. Cut it into bits, yeah. Well, take it apart. You need both hands. No, both. No, not pull it. Pull the soil.
They seem to have destroyed the all-important roots.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon they're okay? What have I done to this plant? I'm a bit worried that we might have killed it by separating it. If Monty was here, I think he might tell me to stop and think about what I'm actually doing here and what am I actually trying to achieve with these plants. So we're going to plant the hedge in front of our house, maybe?
I don't know, I think the hedge is a bit problematic, isn't it?
The hedge is problematic.
That's not the only problem. The larger box hedge is also looking the worse for wear. That's the one Monty saw starved of water on his last visit.
Some of the hedge may be dead. Monty was said about not having bare roots exposed for longer than about 30 seconds, and we must have had it exposed for about 30 days. So...
Lastly, it's moss gluing. Hopefully that might survive the ordeal.
This is quite messy fun. I like this. I think that's quite cute.
Yeah.
Miniature gardening is much trickier than I imagined.
So that's one Walthamstow street in miniature. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. And apparently, neither was Walthamstow. It's early summer in Doncaster, and Monty's on his way to see the final fruits of Nicky and John's labours. The couple have struggled for months to create their garden, but today they're wrestling with another worry.
Naturally, I'm slightly daunted that Monty's coming because, I mean, yeah, it's, you know, he's a well-known gardener and he knows his stuff.
Any advice where we've gone wrong or anything like
Wrong?
that? Or anything like that?
Wrong?
Oh.
No. The main problems obviously have been with the wind. Acts of God. There's been a lot of trials and tribulations. We've done well, I think.
I haven't been back to see Nicola since last autumn, and I left there not feeling terribly optimistic. I'm not sure that she herself can get organised enough to put it all together.
9 months ago, this was a desolate, unproductive plot. And now it's been given a new lease of life.
Well, big changes. It's filled out.
Every plant in Nicky and John's garden is edible. They've doubled their growing space by enlarging their beds and growing produce vertically, using rows of cane wigwams, wooden posts, and creatively recycled pallets, as well as containers on the fence panels. There's plenty of food, like tomatoes, courgettes, and strawberries, and the style is very wild and organic. Vegetables and herbs are mixed in with flowers, and there are edible weeds everywhere.
Conventionally, all advice is to weed vegetables completely. Is there any reason why you haven't done that?
I do quite like the weeds.
Right.
I sort of have a bit of a fear of just bare soil. It's something I've struggled with around the peas.
Yeah, I can see.
And it's bare and I hate it.
It's not bare. It's really not bare. They are full of weeds. That's the fact. If you want to maximise your harvest in terms of small space, which was pretty much what we talked about, then you really do have to get on top of the weeds. If, on the other hand, you want a nice garden that makes you happy, it doesn't matter.
I kind of want both of those things.
What I would suggest is that you have some areas that are rigorously devoted to maximum food. And around the edges, you let some areas have some more weeds and a little bit more looseness. Let's go on looking at the garden as it is now.
By the fence, the vertical garden is thriving, and the fruit trees and strawberries have flourished.
The idea is right, is using space, going upwards. Peas, lovely purple podded peas, which are so beautiful. And I like what you've done over here.
Yes, it was a sort of simple, no-skills DIY solution.
And this is your potting shed?
Yes.
Standing here, it looks nice, doesn't it? Are you pleased?
Yes, I feel we're really starting to move forward.
As the saying goes, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So Nicky and John have invited Monty for lunch and are cooking an entire meal from the garden. It doesn't get fresher than this.
We have elderflower.
Fantastic, and a lovely looking salad. Look at that frittata. That looks fabulous. Delicious. Now, here we are, sharing a meal where everything is from the garden. So that's complete success. Mission accomplished.
Yes, and we really are getting there, and I love being out here.
Good.
I really do. And I mean, I sit here and I look at it, and it does make me happy.
I know that this year has been a tough one for Nicky, and she finds the whole process of making the garden and looking after it fraught with anxiety. But she's done what she set out to do, which is provide food for her family.
I recognise that this maybe is not a lot of people's typical thought when they think of a perfect garden, but it's nice for us.
I think something else will increasingly happen too. The garden will look after Nicola.
It's almost time for Monty to come and inspect the team in Walthamstow. Nicola, Oliver and their nephew Freddie are adding final touches, or is it flourishes, to their beach-themed garden. Nicola's very proud.
It's going really well. It was looking really lovely this morning when the sun was shining. It felt very much like being at the seaside with the big spiky grasses. And now Freddie's painting the back wall, which is making that seem white and summery as well.
I like what they're doing with it, and I like the sort of tropical plants and the pebbles, the grass.
In line with Monty's advice, they've tried to harmonise their planting by sticking to more spiky types.
We did listen to him on the advice about plants, but I'm not sure we've listened to him on the advice about garden design.
On his last visit, Monty was concerned their creation might appear too bitty, and he urged them to try and pull it together as one, perhaps with more pebbles.
I think almost what we've got in the garden is 4 squares. We've got a square for the turf, a square for the pebbles, a square for the table and chairs, and a square for the wooden structures. To tie the garden together, Monty thought it would be better to actually extend the pebbles under the table, but I'm quite happy with the way the garden is at the moment. Maybe if we'd spread them out, it would have actually been a bit too much.
What might be too much is the eclectic range of objets d'art they've acquired, including 4 mannequins.
Monty said that we'd got rather too much going on as it was in the garden, and I'm not sure he was aware of this part of the plan.
Auntie Nicola seems to be very into the sort of random bits and bobs that she picks up from places. I like the idea she has. The problem could be is, because it's a small space, that you might put too much in, it'd be a bit of an eyesore in a way.
In Walthamstow, the lively E17 art trail has kicked off across the town. It's a community festival with pop-up exhibitions in unconventional spaces and in open houses. From a knitted fairy tale garden...
We do love the art trail. Some people think we're a bit crazy and a bit mad, but most people generally enjoy it.
...to fruity memorabilia.
My piece of work is called Mr. Del Monte, He Say Yes.
And entered as exhibit number 9 on the trail is Oliver and Nicola's model village. Monty's on his way, and the couple are feeling the pressure.
Today's the last day, so we're excited and a little bit anxious, I think.
When you've got someone who's a world expert on gardening coming to see your very much amateur garden, it is quite nerve-wracking. But he's a really nice guy, so fingers crossed he'll like it.
9 months ago, Oliver and Nicola's front garden was a dull, shingle-covered space that only served to house the family's bins. Now it's become an art installation.
Wow, so you made it, you got there.
The model is a replica of 3 adjacent roads in Walthamstow next to this house. Oliver and Nicola have fashioned trees from small conifers and elms, and they've created hedges and lawns from moss stuck onto the pegboard. Around a central log, they've added herbs and other small plants, all of which fit the scale. But chances of survival for some are slim.
Plants like lavender are never going to like the situation.
No.
They need perfect drainage, really good drainage, and full sunshine.
Yeah.
The same goes for the thyme. No, Mediterranean herbs must have sunshine.
Yeah.
What's clear is the model is what matters to you.
Yeah.
Always, this was going to be a very singular project.
Yeah.
So the fact you've realised it is great,
Okay.
and I like its singularity. I think that's part of its charm. 3 cheers for wackiness is the main thing. Now I want to see the back.
Thank you.
On Monty's first visit, this was a dull, nondescript back garden dominated by a swing. Now it's been given a new look. But will Monty still think it's a bit of a mishmash?
It's all come together, hasn't it?
The seaside has definitely come to Walthamstow with a tiny beach and deck chairs. But Nicola and Oliver have given it a quirky and arty twist. And a character all of their own.
Now, it does seem to me that you've made it, with some respect, more coherent.
Oh, that's good.
Just first glance.
We've kind of simplified it by clustering things together into groups rather than having them all mishmashed together.
Which is just better design, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? One of the things that was striking me as a gardener is there's not a lot of gardening opportunities. And by gardening, it means plant care and tending. Okay. Is that deliberate, or is it something that you might develop?
I think we see this as, if it's not too grand a phrase, a work in progress, an ongoing
I think it's
thing.
a pretty accurate phrase.
So, we've got this big swing at the moment, but the children won't always be young enough to play on a swing. So over time, that'll go, and we'll probably develop beds that have got more planting opportunity.
Are you happy?
Really happy. Delighted. We had a visitor to our house the other day who we'd never met before, and she saw the garden through the patio doors and said, "That's a really nice garden." No one has ever said that to us before, and that was delightful.
It's time to open the house for the art trail and see what the locals think.
I love the model village. I think it's great. I think it's a really, really lovely thing. Really fun and invites people in.
Hello.
That's great.
Thank you. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Congratulations.
Cheers. Well done. Cheers.
Great.
Thank you for your help, Monty.
Well, it's always a pleasure.
We've got deck chairs and pebbles, and it's really sunny and feels a bit like a beach. So, success, I think.
If gardens were measured to be a success only by their plants, I think you'd have to say that Nicola and Oliver's garden was not a success. I think that they are as much baffled by plants as they are delighted by them. But that isn't the only measure of success. A garden is what you want it to be. Now, 9 months ago, they had this quite confused but interesting goal. And now they've got a space that they can enjoy. Now, on anybody's terms, that is a success.